tonight. You hear the jungle. Hey, what's going on, YouTubers? This is the Lion coming to you once again to give you perspective from all angles. Alright, so we're going to talk about my feelings on Jerry Jones' comments and the whole anthem thing. So I'm going to try to keep it brief. You know, I don't got all day. Yes, I do. No, I don't. Alright, so my thoughts on this whole thing is like, I think at this stage it's a moot point. I think the message has kind of been lost in the sauce. I think we're debating about everything but the issue. We're debating about everything but the reason why Colin started this last year. I think it's kind of got lost in the sauce. I think everything is just blown out of proportion. It's gone left. You know, I'm a military member. I'm an active duty military member, and I believe that this whole here's my beliefs about this whole thing. As a sailor, and as one who has a military obligation to stand and salute that flag, you know, and I believe that those who fought before us to provide me with this opportunity to even be in the military, I believe that they died and sacrificed for us to have the right to choose to sit or stand, for us to have the freedoms to choose to sit or stand. People don't realize the flag is not just about the military. The flag doesn't just represent the military. But there are a lot of people out there who sacrificed and did a lot of things to make sure that we have rights, to make sure that we have, you know what I mean? Like, it took more than the military to make sure to ensure that women had a chance to vote, had the right to vote, or the black people had the right to vote. You know what I mean? It took more than the military to ensure our freedom as slaves. You know, it took more than that. It's taking civil rights. It's taking all these different things to make sure that we have these rights and opportunities that we do today. And in some people's eyes, we still don't have a lot of opportunities. You know, but I think that the injustices and the inequalities that Colin Kaepernick deals for is not even being brought up or discussed. Please excuse me, I'm a little stuffy. You know, that's why I sound really nasally. So, yeah. But I think that this whole, the reason and the method behind everything has been lost in, you know, our president changing the narrative. It's not only the president, it's a lot of people changing the narrative. The minute Colin kneeled, people were so furious with the fact that he actually kneeled that they wouldn't even listen or try to understand or consider why he was kneeling in the first place. Even if he articulated himself from an educational standpoint, he said exactly why he did it and exactly what he did it for in an intelligent manner, and it didn't even matter. You know, because they were more bent up about what he did, how he did it, than why he did it. And to this day, that's all that matters. People are just seeing kneeling during the anthem. They're seeing the platform. They're not seeing why they're actually doing it. And that why they're doing it doesn't matter to them. They don't want to hear it. They don't want to have that discussion about race and inequality. You know? And as much as I hate to say it, and I'm not saying that there's no black people that don't disagree with Colin, or there's no Hispanics that don't disagree with Colin, but most of the people that are disagreeing with Colin are white. You know? So there's a point to be made there. So we got to be careful, you know, with how we look at things and try to look at things from all angles. Like, while I understand why people can be a little disgruntled and a little unhappy about what's going on, you know, I can understand that. I can understand why people are bent out of shape about this issue, because to them it's the flag. It's what the flag to them represents. It's supposed to represent unity, and that one time we get to all stand together and put our differences aside. I can understand a viewpoint and of that perspective. But as a military member, I have to tell you that patriotism doesn't mean the same thing to everybody. we have this idea of what patriotism is and what it's supposed to be, but everyone has an individual belief and individuality about what being American is to them. That's what makes us such a great country, such a great melting pot for welcoming all people from different places, shapes, different backgrounds and cultures and traditions. That we all have a different sense of patriotism in our own individual way. I say that to say that my reasons for joining the military aren't the same as your reasons for supporting the military. So on this topic, I'm kind of, I guess, for the most part, I'm on neutral ground. It's hard to be on neutral ground, but having to look at everything from every angle and trying to be considerate of everyone's perspective on it. Being a black person, I can understand Colin's perspective, and being American, I can understand America's perspective. But a lot of people that do tend to side with Kaepernick, those people have to be open-minded and understand the reaction. At the same time, those people who are closed-minded that don't want to listen to Colin and these protests or try to understand why, try to talk about it and have a discussion, needs to be more open-minded and not just dismiss everything and just think, oh, shut up, you're complaining. That's not going to help anybody. It has to start with a discussion. Well, before the beginning we get to a discussion, we have to start with an acknowledgement. We have to acknowledge that this thing, inequality, exists. That's the hard part for people to understand. Like, they think, oh, because there are black athletes out there, hey, you made it. What do you have to complain for? You're good. You got money. So when people look at these black athletes, they think, oh, you're well off because you make a little money now. And most of these athletes come from nothing. So the very fact that they're even